Hey guys, what is up? Finally, I get to do a video in front of the camera and using my new microphone and at this new setup I got here. So I'm really excited to be talking about my list for quarantine movies, with everything going on. Everybody's stuck in their house doing nothing. Nothing, literally doing nothing like me. Watching movies, TV shows, playing games, reading comics, and talking to friends online and through text. And there's just there's a shortage of what to do and things to watch. And you probably watched everything on Netflix. You probably watched season 3 of Ozark. You probably watched everything on Hulu, Amazon Prime, and everything like that. But I am here to tell you some quarantine movies that you can watch during quarantine. Yeah, I'm super excited to talk about these because these are some of my favorite movies of all time. Also, some movies that are easily digestible, easily just, turn it on, start watching it, boom, you're done. That was a pretty good movie. These are not movies like that really just, hold you down and really are hard to watch, like war movies. All right, so let's just start it out here. Number 1 is Baby Driver. I love this movie. Oh my goodness. It's directed by Edgar Wright, and I think it has some of the best film editing I have seen pretty much of all time. I love this movie. It's like Fast and Furious, but very, very tamed and good. Next one is Booksmart, Olivia Wilde's directorial debut. And this movie is really good. It's a funny teen comedy. It's lighthearted. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's very funny, and honestly, it's very close to a perfect film because it's just it's so simple in its concept, and it's just very fun to watch. So hopefully you guys go see that movie as well. Next movie, we have Blade Runner 2049. This is a sequel to an older movie, I think back in the 90s, maybe the 80s. The original Blade Runner, starring Harrison Ford. This is the sequel, Blade Runner 2049. It has some of the best cinematography I've ever seen by Roger Deakins. He also won an Academy Award. The coloring and the acting and just everything about this movie is a perfect movie. It's a perfect Hollywood sequel. It's a good movie on its own, although I did watch it before watching the first Blade Runner, and I was very confused. And then I watched the first Blade Runner, and I've yet to watch 2049 again. So if you have watched the original Blade Runner, I encourage you to watch this movie. If you haven't, still watch it. It's a good watch. It's a fun movie. It's a really good movie. It's a really stunning movie as well to watch, and that's just another recommendation. Another movie is Arrival by Denis Villeneuve. I think this is one of his best movies, and also Blade Runner 2049 is directed by Denis Villeneuve as well. I really like this director. Arrival is such a good movie. It's one of the best sci-fi movies of all time. It stars Jeremy Renner and I want to Amy Adams. That's who it is. And Forrest Whitaker. Holy cow! This movie, it's just so impactful. It's kind of a slow burn. I'll give it that. It's not that long of a movie either. It's so good at telling its story and richness, and also world building. It's kind of like how the world would come together when, not necessarily a tragedy, but what would the world react to and how would they come together if aliens came to Earth? It's not really off the walls crazy. It's a psychological kind of sci-fi crazy, if you know what I'm trying to say. Next one is 8th Grade. This is a complete 180 from Arrival in Blade Runner 2049. It's directed by Bo Burnham, and let me just tell you the acting. ELSIE Fisher, E-L-E-L-S-I-E Fisher. She's amazing. She's really good in this movie. My goodness. The directing, honestly, is really good because, the directing of Bo Burnham kind of directed younger actors. It's just perfect. This movie is really good. It tells a story about a girl in 8th grade. Honestly, I can't say what hasn't already been said about this movie. It's really good, and I think you guys should watch it. And it's also very lighthearted, such as Booksmart, and very digestible as well. Next is Drive, starring Ryan Gosling. This is the second movie that we got on this list, starring Ryan Gosling. He's a really good actor. In this movie, he's a cold, calculated stunt driver, but he also drives for criminals. He's a getaway driver, which is a really cool concept. When I first watched it, I was like, what in the world? What is this movie? I watched a couple of videos about it, Drive explained and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, this is a pretty good movie. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, wow, that movie was really good. The coloring, cinematography, the acting, the pacing of this movie is crazy. And just everything about this movie is it's you know, you have to focus. Okay, I'll give it that. You have to focus and you have to watch it. Not necessarily not digestible, but it's more of a movie that's like you kind of have to pay attention to. What else are you going to pay attention to in quarantine? A book? No. Next is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. This is a really old movie from Monty Python and that whole group. When I first watched this, I was like, no way. Like this movie's, you know, whatever. I'm going to watch it, you know, be done with it. Hopefully I'll give a couple laughs out of it. But holy cow, this is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. Holy cow. I was bursting out laughing like throughout pretty much the entire movie. Like the comedic timing with actors is so good. The story is like, what in the world? It's the craziest thing. It's so funny. It's so funny. And you know, if you want to get a couple friends together and you just never seen this movie and you want to put it on and you want to be like, what in the world? What am I watching? This is the perfect movie to watch. Next movie is Good Time, starring Robert Pattinson. If you saw Robert Pattinson in Twilight, I promise you he is not the same person in Good Time, nor High Life, nor is he going to be in the Batman. You know, I can't believe Robert Pattinson. I can't believe he's going to be the Batman. Whatever, we'll talk about that later. But he's really good in Good Time. Good Time is a film directed by the Safdie brothers, Josh and Benny. They also directed Uncut Gems, so if you saw Uncut Gems, you know what you're getting out of this movie. High octane pace. Holy cow, there's things going on every which way. What's going on? It's like, it's very manic and it's very crazy. This movie is easily digestible, but also it kind of gives you like an anxiety attack because you're just watching and you're like, holy cow, what, like, things are going on. Like the protagonist gets in one situation, he gets out of it, and he gets himself in another. It's crazy. It's so much fun to watch. Next movie is The Peanut Butter Falcon, starring Shia LaBeouf. And I thought Shia LaBeouf was just done after he was just like had a paper bag over his head, but he's a really good actor, okay? He's a really good actor. I know in the Transformers movies, you're like, Shia LaBeouf, like, he's not a very good actor. But holy cow, he brings it his all in this movie. Him and his casting in this movie is perfect. He's really good in this movie. The movie's just all around just a good, feel-good movie. You know, it's very lighthearted, very heartwarming. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. That's all I can say about it. It's fun. You'll be smiling, not necessarily because you're laughing, although there are really funny things in this movie, but you'll be smiling because of how much of a good time you're having. Next movie is The Lighthouse, also starring Robert Pattinson, also has Willem Dafoe. These guys are perfect in this movie. Their acting is perfect. Thank goodness those two guys were casted in this movie. This movie is all black and white. It's a really odd aspect ratio. It's kind of like it's supposed to be filmed in like the 1700s or something like that. It's just them, Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe on an island in a lighthouse. Like, that's literally it. That's the entire movie. That's it. I promise you have a good time with this one. Next is Inception, my favorite movie of all time. I love this movie. I just want to throw this movie in here so that you can experience peak cinema by Christopher Nolan. Holy cow, this movie's crazy. Yes, I know it's not digestible, nor easily digestible either, but it's a good watch. It's a good watch. It's a good movie. It's a good sci-fi movie. I don't know what else to say about this movie that hasn't already been said. This movie is really good, and yes, it'll bend your mind. It's mind bending. You don't really know what's going on half the time. Once you get past and you focus in and you just want to enjoy like a good sci-fi movie that, you know, deals with dreams and reality and good acting, I think Inception is the one for you. And my very last quarantine movie that I think you should watch is Nightcrawler, not from the X-Men. He doesn't have a movie yet. But Nightcrawler, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. This movie's really good. He's crazy. He's a weird guy. Jake Gyllenhaal, of course, doing Jake Gyllenhaal. He's always just crazy and off the walls. He's a very cold and calculated protagonist in this film. It's really odd. The movie's very odd. And it's also dark, but it's also very intriguing. That's like the number one word that I could use for this movie is intriguing. And if you like cold, dark, intriguing movies that also like... Okay, well, I had to, because my camera stopped. Thanks, Canon. The Canon cameras randomly just stop recording after like a certain amount of time, which is stupid. Hate you, Canon. But I was in the middle of talking about Nightcrawler, part of our quarantine movies. Nightcrawler it's really weird to see this kind of movie come to light because it's not like any other movie that you have ever seen. It's dark. It is calm at times, but really just like insane at times. This movie will have you on the edge of your seat even when nothing is happening. This movie is so good. That's all I have. That's all the movies I have for you guys to watch during quarantine. Hopefully you guys are staying safe and healthy since you guys are all in your house, literally doing nothing because nothing is open. None of the theaters are open. You might as well, watch some of these movies. And a lot of these movies are on Amazon Prime, on Netflix, maybe on Hulu. And if they're not on any of those, I'm not recommending any illegal websites. But if you want to watch a movie, but again, I will not encourage you to do illegal things. Hopefully you guys are again staying safe and healthy, and thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.